What's up, fight fans? And we're back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin. Let's get into this. Well, I want to let a couple people join the stream. As we let a couple people join the stream, there's a lot of interesting things going around in boxing. What's up? All right. How you doing? Do you hear me out there loud and clear? Well, waiting for him to respond, but I take it that you do hear me. Good evening. What up, Randy? Yo, so let's get into this. Subriel Matias did an interview earlier. I think it was today or yesterday, something like that, right? What's up? What's up, Hector? How you doing? Tuning in. Blessings, my brother. Um, all right, Bam Bam. What's up, baby? How y'all doing? All right. So, Subriel went on and he did an interview in Spanish, right? And I watched the interview, and they asked him a couple questions about Isa Pitbull Cruz's victory this past Saturday against Rolando Roli, right? And Subriel Matias's comment was like, he's glad, that Isa Pitbull Cruz got this joker out of here. Like in other words, he didn't belong in the 140-pound weight division as a champion and representing the WBA. So Brian Matias felt as, he was just making a mockery out of boxing, so to speak. And he gave a lot of, congratulations and praises to Isa Pitbull Cruz, and he said that he looked strong in the fight. He's also given Isa Pitbull Cruz his flowers, and when asked if he was to go up against you, who would win? And he chuckled a little bit and he said, "Well, someone's going to the hospital, maybe me and him, because it's going to be a great fight. Because when it comes to Puerto Rican and Mexico fighting, that's a rivalry. That is a rivalry right there. And you can see is that Subriel Matias is interested in that fight after this fight, June 15th, with Liam Potter, which tickets go on sale tomorrow, April 5th. I'm trying to get me some good ones. Um, so that's a smart move. That's a smart move by Subriel Matias because it shows that he's giving credit and he's taking Isa Pitbull Cruz seriously and as a worthy opponent. He's saying, no, he's a good champion. He did what he needed to do, and I would like to fight against him in a unification, which in a good world, Isa Pitbull Cruz would take this fight. I'm not too sure that he would take the fight, even though he did say that he wanted to show the rest of the division that he's here and that he's for real. So if you're here and you're for real and you want the big money fights, Isa Pitbull Cruz, the Mexican newly acquired WBA champion, versus the Puerto Rican superstar of Puerto Rico, Matias, that would be a great fight. And I would love to see it. Okay. I understand too that Teofimo Lopez is on the radar. According to him, Puerto Ricans are easy. You put them in front of me and I'll beat them. I got a Puerto Rican for you, Teofimo Lopez. I got one right here in Subriel Matias. And he's out Pitbull Cruz ain't interested in that fight. After you finish up your fight, let's see what's really going on. Let's see if you about that life, Tio. Let's see if you really gonna back up because the last Puerto Rican that you came against nearly took your title. And in the fans' eyes, we believe he won. Ortiz won that fight. I'm just saying. So if you're the type of champion that your wins come with controversy, You might want to clear something up, Tio. And I believe the best way is in a unification. What do you want to do in boxing while you're here? You want to unify titles, right? Tio is this close from being an undisputed world champion. He was this close. And if you want that, the first step is unifying another title. One more belt. You see? And all these champions to come together. Now, if I was Subriel in a perfect world, I would say Devin Haney for last. Because you know you're going to make the most money with Devin Haney. And that's the biggest fight right there. That's it right there. That's the fight to be made. Right there. Devin Haney versus Subriel Matias. But I would also like to see if maybe, maybe Tio. Okay, in a good world, Tio and Devin go at it. Subriel and Isa Pitbull Cruz go at it. Why do I say that? Isa Pitbull Cruz's boxing style and Subriel's, they cater to each other. That's a good match. These guys are not going to run from each other. Someone's getting knocked out in that fight. Someone. And it's a good fight. And then Tio style and Devin style, it's a better fight. You see? So the winner out of that, these four guys can throw their belts in the ring, all four of them, and make a the last man standing type thing and build the momentum off of that. All four champions announce we're going to go at it. Isa Pitbull Cruz versus Subriel Matias on one card, and then a couple months later, Tio and Devin on another card. And then you can make the final card like in Vegas for the last two champions to meet. It would be mega. The build up to something like that, all these guys would get paid. You would put your legacy, you would dare to be great. And when the smoke clears, the last man standing, we would find out who is the best. The 140-pound division has turned out to be one of the best divisions in all of boxing right now. Where else? What other division do you got? I mean, look, Errol Spence Jr. just left and split ties publicly with Derrick James. And you know who comes out and throws out a little a little message on social media? Jaron Ennis. Jaron boots Ennis' dad. Ennis says, yo, come through. The door is open. We can help each other out. I'll train you. To Errol Spence Jr. Now, I'm not sure if Errol Spence Jr. responded to it or whatever, but his text is still up. Ennis, he's serious. He's like, yo, come through. The door's open, baby. We ain't got nothing but love for you. You know, and I think that, listen, Errol Spence Jr., yeah, go with Boots Ennis? Hell yeah. I would try that. Why not? You know, anyway, right? So there's not really another division right now that's really popping. That's really popping right now. I mean, Tank Davis and Shakur are kind of by themselves down there. You know, um, I'm not sure even the winner out of Vasily Lomachenko and George Kamboza would even fight Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson. Both of them men been running from both of those guys. It's just another. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let me catch up to some of y'all. I see the love is in the building. You know what? There's gonna be a lot of moving parts coming up, right? Now, Esau Pitbull Cruz, right, is gonna be offered a few opponents. He has a few outs. He does, right? You know, he has Israel. We know this, okay? Whether or not he'll be ready to, or does he really want to fight that kind of fight? He's not going to make that kind of money fighting those guys. If you're going to lose your belt or you're going to take Dare to be Great and the prize is money and another belt, bro, I would go that route. Because even if you lose, in depending how you lose, or if you lose, you're gonna get paid. The most money, probably triple the amount you've ever made. And then your next fight, you'll still have fans, so you'll make decent amount of money. You see? Watch out if you don't get a rematch. You see? So I would go that way. He's not Isa Pitbull Cruz is not gonna make that kind of money anywhere else. Isa Pitbull Cruz has been wanting his chance to become a champion, right? You've seen him, right? I don't know if you have ever seen a documentary on him or leading into a fight, behind the scenes when they did it like Tank Davis. You see where Isa Pitbull Cruz came from. He wants to change his family's life. And rather than gambling on the fact, because let's just keep it funky. At this stage, every time you get in the ring, you're taking a chance. At this stage. So there's not going to be any easy fight for Isa Pitbull Cruz, especially at 140. So if you're going to take a chance like that, Papi, get paid too. And take a chance of shocking the world because you can't count that little Mexican dude out. Are we in agreement? Can I get a round one? Can smash the like button? Can we get these likes up? Yeah. Listen, Subriel, if the fight was to be made, we will talk about it, but I don't want to scare the man away. If he's willing to take that, nah, we're the opponent. Let's just keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want nobody to run away, right? And once he signed on that dotted line, we can break that down, okay? But let's just keep it like, nah, yo, Eastside, I think you might be Subriel, bro. Yo, I think you can. I think you got this. You know what I'm saying? Don't scare him away now. You think? Oh, wait a minute. Eddie said Devin is losing his belt after Ryan because he doesn't think Devin will fight his Sandor Martin. They're gonna have to fight that man, but I think Devin will beat him. I think Devin will beat him. I think Devin's a little too much for him. Yeah, Devin Haney right now, when you see this version of Devin Haney right now, April 29th against Ryan Garcia, you're going to see Devin Haney's features. His character is going you're going to see how it changes from the last time he fought where he still looked like a kid. You're going to see how much Devin Haney is already developing into the man right before our eyes. The ass whooping that Devin Haney is going to give to Ryan Garcia is is going to be the kind of ass whooping he wants to notify the division. The credit that he's going to get for whooping Ryan Garcia's ass ain't going to be that much credit from the boxer's standpoint, and it's going to be fucked up because although everybody wanted this fight, when Devin wipes him down like that, watch, he's going to wipe him down, right? um, they're not gonna give Devin Haney the credit. They're gonna say, "Oh, you fought this dude." But the one thing you can say about Ryan Garcia, honestly, people, he's fighting the big fights. Okay, and that's a lot that you can't say that about a lot of boxers that are running their mouth like they're these big boxers, right? For instance, um, Virgil, right? He was Terrence Crawford's mandatory for a long time. He was offered a fight to fight Terrence Crawford not once, not twice. Yo, he denied both of them, right? Then, ironically, I think it was yesterday, Oscar De La Hoya tweeted, "Yo, I want Virgil will step up and fight Terrence Crawford for the WBO. Shall Sebastian Fendora choose to vacate it so that Virgil will step up?" So when he tweets that, ironically, the WBO president tweeted back to Oscar and said, "Are you sure about that?" Yo, I was like, "Oh shit!" He called him out. Like, are you sure that he would want that? Because, like, the WBO is taking Oscar's tweet serious. Like, yo, would he fight Terrence Crawford at 154 for the 154-pound vacant WBO title? Right. So then I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't Oscar type out a text with Zepeda wanting to fight Shakur thing, and then he didn't want the fight? So I started thinking, right? I was like, oh shit, Oscar De La Hoya is a dog. Oscar De La Hoya he's that dude, bro. When I started thinking about the moves he was making in the text, he was texting these texts without his fighters even knowing. Meaning he was trying to put his fighters in a situation to say, yeah, I want to fight. Like, finally fight this guy. When Oscar De La Hoya must not understand this ducking era, where he comes from an era of gladiators. Oscar De La Hoya fought the who's on the way out of his career. He fought everybody. So when you got a guy that's claiming he wants to fight, and you got a promoter trying to get the fight, then he denies it, Oscar's putting these dudes on the spot. That's what he's doing. And I'm starting to realize, like, he's calling it, like, he's probably at the party with them, right? And Virgil's like, yeah, I want to fight Terrence Crawford. And he's like, you do? He'll fight, and then they're like, yo, Virgil's like, I don't want that smoke. He's like, you bitching up now? Like, yo, you see? Oscar's like, yo, why don't you fight the best? I don't understand these guys claiming, and many times you've seen Oscar put his guys under the bus sometimes. He slowed down on that because he understands that it's business, right? But he gets frustrated because I'm starting to realize that he doesn't understand this bullshit. And I'm like, oh shit, this is what he's doing. And you got to understand who Oscar was. When they called you a duck back then, it's not like these Mexican champions now. And I'm sorry, I'm not taking shots at Mexico, but there's a lot of them doing a lot of fuck shit. But there's a lot of them that are great champions. David the Monster Benavidez, I can't take nothing away from the man. He's just not getting his opportunities. So, you know what I mean? But Canelo, my man, you can't go down that. You know what I'm saying? We've been down this road. But yeah, I find that ironic that the WBO, no sooner that Oscar typed it, he hopped on it. I was like, oh shit. It's rare when you get like the president of the fucking WB. He like called them on it. Like, are you sure? Because we can make that happen. And then your guy pulls out again for the third time. He didn't want the smoke at 147. You're going to mean to tell me he wants it at 154? Like, really? Like, they don't even believe it, But Oscar, it's not that he's talking. And then look at the guy that Virgil's fighting. That dude ain't want to fight in like a decade, bro. Some outrageous shit like that. Like, it's crazy. So, they didn't buy it. You want to keep your fighter's name relevant though, but you also want to get him the fights. Oscar's like, yo, my nigga, I can get you to fight. Just say when. It's up to him too. He's got to want it, right? Haney wants T.O. next. It's no secret. Haney's always wanted T.O. And it would be a great idea to match all four of these champions out. In an era where there's an explosion, and I understand that the PBC does not like to work in a promotional company, and that's what stops a lot of these fights. It's not as easy as going, let's make the fight happen. I get it. But the thing about this situation is, right, Devin Haney ain't signed to nobody. He's the most flexible of all of them, right? Okay. Top Rank and Eddie Hearn, they've worked together. So because Ed Hearns got Subriel Matias and Top Rank got Teo. You see? So okay, and for instance, if I from the love of the grace of the gods of the you know what I mean would work with me on this one, I would know exactly but odds of me getting this Esau Pitbull Cruz. He's from the PBC. Nice. Esau Pitbull Cruz from the PBC. Fuck. But that's where the monkey wrench comes in. The PBC got Esau Pitbull Cruz. Top Rank will work with Ed Hearns. Devin Haney is DHP promotion. That's no problem. He can flex on any side of the street. It's the PBC, man. They don't work with nobody, bro. They don't work with Al Heyneman, and they're not working with Top Rank, bro. They'll work with Oscar. The PBC has done. I'm a golden. They don't like to sometimes they be talking shit, but they've worked together. They've worked together numerous of times. Oscar, they bicker and right. But when it comes to money, they'll figure it out. But the PBC is not working with Ed Hearn and Matt. No, that's not going to happen. That just took the wind out of my sail. Because the fight in order to Isaac Pitbull Cruz to fight Subriel Matias, that's Ed Hearn with the PBC and Matchroom. Yeah. And then Top Rank, Amazon Prime, they're not going to want to give up their TV rights. I mean, some of these guys have been known to work with each other and they'll figure it out if the money is right. That Saudi guy can step in and make these guys work. There's so much money in the pie that they'll be like, fuck it, we're all getting paid. They'll work with each other then. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much fucking money that they're like, the Saudis are basically telling them, what do you want to make the fight happen? Here, you take this, step out the side, let them fight. And now you can't say no to money, right? Because money's king. You see? And the Saudis is the only ones that can pull some shit like that off. They can make all these people work together. Yes, they can. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, these people just want their names and to be the one to making the most dollar amount. You give them what they want and let the fighters fight. They can do that. But whether or not some shit like that would ever happen in a good world, you know, I have no idea. But I would love to see some shit like that. Right now in 140 pounds, um, let's see, 140 pounds, junior welterweight rankings, right? That's what we would have to look up. So you got Devin Haney's a champion. You got Teofimo Lopez is a champion. Newly acquired WBA champion Isa Pitbull Cruz. The IBF is Subriel Matias, right? You got Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor. They're gonna fight. The winner out of that will move back up into the rank division, right? Jose Ramirez. You also got, we can't forget the Russell, Gary Antoine Russell, right? Okay. And then Regis Progress lost his belt to Devin Haney, but he's still in the mix. So you can't forget about, you know what I'm saying, him. Um 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 uh uh Richardson Hitcherson, Barboza Jr., Dalton Smith, Sandor Martin, Ponce, and Jermaine Ortiz are the top fighters, and Rivera if you want to throw them in on the low, are probably the top fighters at 140 that can present any of the challenges. Now, those are the guys that are there. Who would you like to see out of those guys, besides the champions, fight Isa Pitbull Cruz? Ismael Barboza, he'll probably be one of the names that is going to slide in there. After this Liam Paro fight, who do you want Subriel to fight? After Teo finishes up in Honduras, who do you want Teo to fight? And once Ryan Garcia finishes on on 20th against uh, Devin Haney, finishes against Ryan Garcia April 20th, who would you like Devin Haney to fight next? Where's the money fight here? The money fight here for me are the champion fights. There's no other fighters that you're gonna make that kind of money and to please the masses. Don't you understand that Devin Haney's fighting against Ryan Garcia for no, like, it's giving Ryan Garcia a title for him, a title defense, but I mean, what is Ryan Garcia ranked in the 140? What's his ranking? Anybody know? You see what I'm saying? You know, I I think he might be like 9 or 10. His ranking. He might be in the top 10. Definitely, Ryan Garcia is probably in the top 10. Yeah, more than likely, maybe 8 or 7, probably. A little bit fluctuated, but yeah, that's where he's at. There's nobody really fighting a big. I mean, Subriel Matias is fighting an undefeated fighter, and if you ask me, he's the truest 140-pound champion and the truest 140 pounder out of all of them. He's not fighting no tomato can. He's fighting undefeated fighters. Okay, now that's saying a lot. Who's Teofimo Lopez fighting again? I'll wait. Who's that guy? You know what I mean? Ryan Garcia has never fought for a world title. Not once. This is his first opportunity at a crack at a real world title. So this is his first rodeo. You see this, Subriel Matias is fighting his mandatories. He's fighting his mandatories. Whoever they got number one guys, that's all he's fighting. He's fighting the mandatory, the number one, the number two guy. Shit like that. And once he already beat those guys, now he's just fighting undefeated fighters. That's where he's at. Because he's the only one that really cleaned the division. Subriel Matias. The only thing he needs is a shot at those other belts, in which the champions are talking like they want the smoke. So if they want the smoke, Subriel's hand is fixed. His promotional situation is done with. Where are you guys at now? Where are you guys at now? We're gonna see. Time's gonna tell. You know, um, there's no bigger fights. There's no bigger fights. I don't want to see him fight Josh Taylor. I don't. Um, the Russell, that would be a good fight. The Russell would be a good fight. Barboza would be. He beat Richardson, Hutchinson, Sandal Martin. Uh he's a top ranked fighter too. Sandal Martin's a top ranked fighter. Richardson is a matchroom fighter. Barboza is a golden boy fighter. Ryan Garcia is a golden boy fighter. Russell is a PBC fighter. Josh Taylor fights for top rank. Subriel Matias, we know he fights for Matchroom at Hearns. Teofimo Lopez is a top rank. And Devin Haney, he's still like will be listed as a Matchroom, but he's DHP. So he's the only one that's really flexible in the division for me anyway, you know? You see, Rivera is throwing his name in the ring here, and his dad's all over social media, causing up a little stare because I guess he wants to put his son in the cage with this lion, right? Which okay, if you wanted to challenge any of the other champions, I probably would have chased down the winner out of Isa Pitbull Cruz and Rolly or Teofimo Lopez, because Teo would match up well, stylistically against Rivera because Rivera's more of a boxer, um, you know, his style is really like that. Teo moves a little bit more than Rivera, but Teo's real slick in his approach to boxing. He has a lot of little a lot of tricks in his bag where he can go to, where sometimes he'll look awkward in his movement, but the movement was very intelligent. One and the In the Josh Taylor fight, for instance, there was a moment where Josh Taylor was trying to like back Tio up, and Tio was stepping forward. Josh Taylor threw the punch, and Tio did this. Did you notice when Tio did that? He went like that, and he blocked his jab like this. Boom, right? And it looked it funny, but that's an effective strategy. It's a very effective strategy. And Tio does shit like he'll punch the boxer's bicep and make his hand like miss by like an inch. He can go to his little bag of tricks. Where Rivera is a more his style caters to boxing. Rivera, it really does. You know, um, I don't know what Rivera is going to look like against a fighter like Tio. Only time will tell. He's looked good against some good opponents. That loss against Frank Martin, might have set him back a little. But he's in the lab, he's training, and I think that would be a pretty good fight in itself. That right there. Um, Garcia, Ryan Garcia, 6 WBC. What? What's that all about? Pro boxing. What are you talking about? Maybe I missed something up here somewhere. But I think Ryan is number 5 in the IBF. He may be. He may be. And Rivera's 14 for the WBC. The WBC has a long waiting list. And you better know somebody that knows somebody to get you a fight for one of those belts right there. They are the most bougiest belt in all of boxing, but they are the best belt to have. It's probably one of the most iconic, famous belts in all of boxing. Sometimes depending on what the champions or who the champions were that held them, what made the WBC a very prestigious belt were the men and women that held that title, as you can see. Mayweather made that belt very popular in his era, which really boosted the credibility of that belt. But it's a very difficult organization to work with and to try to get a legitimate title fight. They're mostly based on what can you do. Their ranking system is shit. I'm gonna keep it 100. It's not the kind of organization where that you can move yourself up and put yourself the number one contender and you'll get a shot. You'll just be called David the Monster Benavidez. That's it. Because he's been chasing Canelo Alvarez through the WBC structure and he ain't getting nowhere. And if you're gonna ask why doesn't he go any of the other avenues, he's just gonna run into the same wall because the organizations are just protecting the highest paid boxer. And when you're coming up against that, it's basically up to that man to take the fight. Yeah. So, but that WBC world title, boy, if you could get your hands on one, it'll surely catapult your career, though. Anybody that gets those WBC belts, that's the truth, though. They're like the 5-star hotel there, the Hilton. Yeah. But the IBF is like legit. Like they help cater to like the B-side fighters. The IBF is on some shit where they're like, if you're winning your fight and you're moving up and you put yourself in position to be the number one ranked contender, guess what? You're getting a shot. That's how they roll. And if you even hint like you're not gonna honor your mandatory, they'll strip you like that. That's the only bullshit with them. They fucking they're so hard to work with, bro. If they even think you're not they're strip, yo, they strip Terrence Crawford like that, bro. They're crazy, man. But they're really about the zeros. And they saw that Terrence Crawford was never going to defend the belt at 147. And you could see that from a mile away. Tell me, has he defended him? Is he? What's he doing? He's fighting at 154 for who? Whoever has the WBO title. He's not fighting at 147, and the IBF was criticized highly for stripping him of their belt. IBF was like, bro, he ain't gonna defend that belt. We're not stupid. We're giving it to a champion that's gonna wear it around the waist and advertise fights for us. The belts you got around your waist, Terrence Crawford, are sitting on a shelf, and they ain't ever gonna be represented. We ain't dumb. You're not keeping our belt hostage. Strip. The IBF don't play. They don't play. His name is not even mentioned in another organizations. Okay, check this out, right? I wonder why the other organizations are not playing with Ryan Garcia. They're saying he hasn't earned it and he hasn't made his way. The only reason why Ryan Garcia is ranked in the WBC, let's think about this one. Where is the WBC's main headquarters at? I'll wait. You don't know? I'll answer for you. Mexico. Who runs the WBC? Mexicans. What is Oscar De La Hoya? What belt did he have? Oscar De La Hoya runs the Ringside magazine. Rubs elbows with who? The WBC. The Mexican belt. Ryan Garcia is what? Mexican. Oh shit, the Mexican organization has Ryan Garcia ranked on their Mexican belt? What a coincidence. They also got Jake Paul there. Fuck out of here, bro. That belt is a popularity belt. I told you. They bougie as shit. And if you got uh he got everything. He checked Ryan Garcia checks out all the boxes. He has a big promotional company. He's fighting for pay-per-view. You qualify. You're on the ranking system. And that's real talk. Can we get these likes up in here? Yo, that's facts, baby. But the other major sanctioning bodies are saying, sorry, Ryan Garcia, you haven't been in one division long enough to fight any of the top guys for us to deem you in our ranking system. And if you look for Ryan, you ain't gonna find him on no other ranking system. The only ranking system we got. Come on, man. They bougie as hell. Ryan checks out all the boxes. He's going to get on their ranking system. What a coincidence. He got on the Mexican ranking system. Yeah. What's up, baby? Salute. When you sign to fight Matias in the ring, it's fucking up. What's up? We got a subscriber. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Let's give you a welcome here at Round One Sports Talk. Where do all fights start? Round one. You know it. Yo, listen. Yeah. Look, Devin Haney, you know, in a sport, right, where it is to your favor to be a fan pleasing fighter. And a fan pleasing fighter, that comes with knockouts. Okay. Sometimes you could be a fan pleasing fighter when you get the matchmakers get it right, and you see that slug out, bloody fight. One guy gets knocked down. He's like, "Come on!" And the other guy's like, "Bring it!" And they, uh, 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 eh, one of those kind of fights, right? Zapata was in one of those fights. He's knocked down. He got up. Those kind of fights, right? So when you look at Devin Haney, and lately he's been criticized for not scoring the knockout. He had Regis Progress in all kinds of trouble. And I believe that he could have knocked out Regis Progress. Regis Progress kept a good poker face on that night. He showed enough wits in his face that Devin Haney was reluctant to go in and finish the job. A lot of boxing, I've talked about this with a lot of people, and it's a 50-50. Both sides say that no, Devin needed to close the show. He needed to knock him out to show his dominance. Other people say kudos for Devin Haney for not giving Regis Progress the opportunity of upsetting the night and staying disciplined to his fighting plan. He had him hurt. He didn't get greedy. He reset it, went back to work, you know. And so, a lot of people have looked at both sides. Devin Haney does have power, though, because at the end of that fight, in the post interview, when they showed Regis Progress on stage, yo, he was literally bubbled. He looked like he got a whole bunch of kisses by a bunch of women. He was tatted the fuck up everywhere. And those are Devin Haney's knuckles and punches. Tomorrow and the next day, that's going to be a lot worse. And you're going to really see what he looks like. So I can see that young Devin Haney has that snapping power, that knockout power. He hasn't shown that yet. No. And I'm in agreement with you. If you're going to claim to be a great champion, and to be the best, this young in your career, this is where you need to be knocking people out. At the ending of your career, if you weren't knocking as many people out, we would understand because you were getting older, but not at the spotlight of your career. This is where you have to bring those kind of performances, and I'm in agreement with you that here on in, I'm I'm one of the biggest Devin Haney's fans, and I'm saying it. I'm saying to myself, damn it, Devin, this is where we really need to see you. And it's because he accomplished so much so fast, so young. You see, he was just a baby in there. He was doing this shit 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, winning all four bouts. You see? So, and then these suckers want to fight him during his religion's holiday, where that they know that he has to do his religion. He has to fast all day from sun up to sunset, right? And Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko did the same shit to him. He had to break ramen so that he can eat to get strength in order to train right to fight Vasily. And and these promoters do these slick things to him because they know young Devin Haney is young in his religion, and he had to ask like, his God, please forgive me, but I need to, like, this is how I feed myself, right? So now this will be his last fight. They scheduled it around these times again on him. They just want to beat Devin. They just want any way to have a malnourished, weak, training all day, weak. That's what they want from Devin Haney. And, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. And these promoters know that. And that's why they take these fights during this time. So he I believe it ends April 9th. His religion ends. It started March 10th this year and it ends April 9th. So after April 9th, he'll also go back to like fully. I think he's already eating now. He's made his peace, I guess, however way they work it out. I'm not going to even guess it. Whatever he needed to do, I think he did. But once again, they trying to like deplete him again, trying to get him weak, training weak, you know, to beat Devin. So, but what up, Armando? Why so many people talk about Devin is so negative? When you're great at something and you win too much, the fans will turn on you. Didn't they turn on Tom Brady? Didn't they turn on Michael Jordan? Didn't they turn on all the greats? Didn't they turn on Floyd? When you're good at something and you're winning too much, you're no longer the underdog. They were rooting for you because you were coming up and they wanted to see you win. And they were like, oh, he can do it. Come on. But once you're just this dominant champion and you got all four belts and you're kicking everybody's ass and you're making it look a little too easy, they start to root for the other guy. And soon your own fans will turn on you. The loyal ones will stay by your side. But what really fucks up the sport sometimes are a lot of real low common fans come in all drunk. Why doesn't Devin Haney fight fucking Tyson Fury? If he wants to be the best, he has to fight Tyson Fury tomorrow or Devin. Those kind of fans. You know what I mean? They'll be, oh, no, the Japanese superstar, he ain't shit. If he's all good, fight Terrence Crawford right now. Like, dude, no, they can never fight. Those are the kind of guys that get all over Devin. But those are the kind of guys sometimes that got the money to buy tickets. These rich guys that just showing up to impress their girlfriend at a boxing match, just start yelling out. You heard them before. They can only name like two or three boxers and they'll name like four old boxers. And that's the best of their boxing knowledge. But they're going to tell you who's going to win the fight tonight. Fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of fucks up the sport a little. But when we're talking about real skill, Devin Haney didn't get where he is because he ain't got no skill. So far, no one's beat him. I'll leave it as that. He fought Vasily. He fought them all. He fought them all. Anybody that was willing to fight him, he fought. Because mind you, he gave Shakur Stevenson an offer for 4 belts, bro. 4 belts? Are you fucking kidding me? You mean to tell me you're giving me an opportunity to win all 4 belts on one night? I don't got to chase down 4 men. And no matter what, I'm going down in the record books. And my name is Shakur Stevenson, and I got this kind of skill. That's what I'm basing it on. Bro, there was no way I would have denied that. He didn't deny it once. They made him a second offer, and he denied that one too. Talk about they ain't treating him right. Really? How much money did Shakur Stevenson make his very next fight? Nowhere near the amount of money Devin Haney even offered him. But he'd rather fight for 1 belt, which was the same belt Devin Haney vacated, that he offered him a fight for 4. He didn't want to fight for 4, but once he vacated that belt, he went right away and fought for that belt. Please make it make sense. Please make it make sense. I don't know. I don't know. And when Devin Haney achieved so much, you see, once he got the belts, the stigma was belts don't matter. Ryan got on it. Tank Davis got on it for a little while. A lot of them did, and they had a lot of fans fooled. They had them thinking that those belts didn't matter. So if belts didn't matter so much, why the fuck did Tank Davis hold on to that interim belt for so long if belts don't matter? Because part of Tank Davis's success is being announced as a champion with that little interim belt he had. But the real champion the entire time was Devin Haney. They were in the same weight division, 135. Devin Haney had the real title, but Tank Davis had an interim belt. So if belts didn't matter, why didn't you vacate that interim belt? Why are you paying sanctioning fees to an interim belt the same amount of money you would pay for a real world title? But belts don't matter? Ryan Garcia, how about now? Does belts matter? Who are you fighting right now? And for what? For a belt. You're damn right. Your highest award in your sport matters. Because at the end of the day, ain't it true? Ain't it about the trophies, the belts, and the rings? At the end of the day, if you come to me after your career is all said and done with a big bag of money, I'm gonna be like, yo, impressive, but where's your belts? Where's your belts? You can't get into the Hall of Fame with that money, baby. They're not going, no, they only accept world champions. Where's your hardware? And if you ain't got no hardware, you ain't getting in the building. All right? And that's how it is. That's how it is. If Devin Haney's so good, okay, check this out. For one, my man, PR in the building, boxing, my man. Te lo voy a decir. This is why they haven't fought yet. That's the biggest fight in the division, bro. You don't want to put them in so early against each other. That's the biggest money fight. There is no other fight but Subriel and Devin Haney. Let's be honest. You're not going to make that kind of money with Tio, and you're not going to make that kind of money with Isa Pitbull Cruz, right? So let's see first if we can get these other guys to want to fight Subriel and Devin so that Subriel and Devin can meet at a bigger stage, more belts. If Devin Haney gets his hand on one of those belts or Subriel gets his hand on one of them belts, now they can fight for 3 belt unification or all 4 belt unification. Now you got a big fight. Devin Haney is not just like, let's give him the biggest fight right away. Wait, there's my fight right there. Let the fight marinate. Let the fight develop. Let the fans keep wanting it. Let the fans keep asking for it. Let Subriel and Devin keep calling each other out. By time they meet up, we got ourselves a fight. We got ourselves a fight. And that's what I believe is going to happen because I'm going to keep it funky right now. Neither of those men are afraid of each other. Devin Haney is not scared of Subriel Matias. Hell no. Hell no. If he was scared of any other man, he should pack up his shit and go do something else. Devin Haney's not a boxer, a professional boxer, chasing down the biggest fights, unifying all 4 belts because he's scared of one guy. So let's just keep that funky. Devin ain't scared of nobody. He's just being managed well. Don't just go out the fight when the fight can be bigger. That's why he didn't fight Ryan Garcia way back then. You let the Ryan Garcia fight get bigger, here we are. You see? So it had Ryan Garcia been taking care of business, which everybody in the fight world thought he was, and maybe he would have been a champion. They were thinking that Ryan Garcia would have made a name for himself, a much bigger name. So they see that Ryan ain't going to go no higher. Devin said, fuck it, let me take the fight now. And here we are. See? You let that Subriel Matias fight marinate. Bingo. Now we talking. Thing is about this, right? where you can age a fighter out, right? Subriel Matias just turned 32 years old March 31st. So he recently just turned 32 years old. So Matias is not a spring chicken. Devin Haney can afford to piss off two and a half, 3 years. Yes, he can. He'll be what? 27, 28. If you put 3 years on Subriel Matias, he's 35 years old. They can age him out. So you don't, Matias doesn't want to wait too long. And that's why I don't want Matias fighting these non-title belt guys. You know, he doesn't have the luxury to piss away another year. No. Matias needs to get in there right now or move up in weight. Perhaps go up, fight the Jaron Boots Ennis at 147 or something. I don't know. Who's at 147 right now? The welterweight, let's see, Terrence Crawford's still listed there, but he's not going to fight there because he's going to move on. Errol Spence Jr. is still listed there, but he's not going to fight there. So Jaron Boots Ennis is the number 1, 2, and 3 guy at fucking 147. Okay, and then they got Keith Thurman in the 147. I mean, there's a Connor, for God's sake, they still got Connor Ben and 140. Didn't he fight somewhere upwards of like 160 his last fight? So that's what I mean, guys. The biggest fights are at 140 right now. That's it. That's it. That's where the money's gonna be made. And if these dudes really had big balls, and they really was about that life, Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis would just say fuck it and go up to the 140. Shakur Stevenson can make 140 no problem. Tank Davis would be pushing a little bit, but he's a worthy opponent. And he'll give any of them guys a run for their money and possibly win the fight against any of them. Okay, you can never count Tank Davis out. He just looked too good. He was blimped up when he fought Mario Barrios, but he didn't lose no speed, twitch muscle. His power was there. Everything was there. He might have not had no abs, but Tank can fight at 140. And that goes to show you, they see this. They know. They're not blind. They got a promotional company. If they really wanted a piece of Devin Haney, that should tell you how good Devin Haney really is. Shakur Stevenson doesn't want any part of him. And that's the truth. That's just the truth. Tank Davis doesn't want any part of him for some reason. That's the truth, bro. And I love Tank Davis. I think he'll rock with Devin, but I just don't know why he won't fight him. I have no answer for you. Devin Haney's been in his division for years, rocking everybody, getting all the belts, walking right by Tank Davis. And Tank Davis did nothing. He didn't even fight Lomachenko at 135. And that, you look, I'm going to tell you what, that's not even Tank Davis's fault as a fighter. No. And it is. It is and it isn't, right? Because what Tank Davis did was he sat back and let them pick his fights. He never requested no one. Tank Davis has never, ever fought in the ring and said, I want to fight this guy next. In those days, in the time when he was coming up. I'm talking about when he was coming up. He never called anybody out. He just said, whatever Floyd wants, whatever PBC Al Heyman wants, I'll fight. And that was his only mistake, that he allowed them to pick him all those fucking bums and shit. Some of the fights were really good, some of his fighters and shit. Yeah, he fought some worthy opponents, right? But he didn't fight the who's. And because of the fact that PBC was fucking mad at Devin Haney for not signing with them, Devin Haney went with Mayweather and it was in his gym since he was 9 years old. And when he finally was like, we want to sign you, Devin Haney's dad was like, no. They didn't like that shit. They didn't like that. They poured everything they had into Devin Haney, thinking that later in life they would persuade him to signing with the PBC and Floyd Mayweather. And they said no. We don't want to be with no one. We're gonna be our own bosses, and you know how that is, Floyd, right? You were want to be in Floyd's like, and then they didn't want to work with Devin Haney because they pissed off at him because Floyd wanted Devin Haney to be to sign Devin, young Devin. That's one of the fighters Floyd Mayweather wanted for a long time, and he couldn't lock Devin down. Yeah. So they didn't want to work with him, right? So they never made the fight between Devin and Tank. I don't know why. I don't think Tank's afraid of him. I don't think Tank's afraid of no man on the planet. I just think that he needed to speak up more and like really take control of his career rather than putting his career in these other people's hands that just wanted to make a dollar off of him. You know, that's all. But the truth is the truth, bro. Devin Haney did everything that none of these fighters, all these fighters wish they did Devin Haney shit. I bet you that. All of them would want Devin Haney's credentials right now. And he has two divisions. So, man, these dudes, they got to sit there. All these dudes got to sit there and watch Devin Haney live out their dreams while Devin Haney's really living it. So I can't be mad at Devin. I can't be like, oh, Devin this, that. Nah. He's doing it. He's actually doing it. And as far as Ryan Garcia go, he might not be the more decorated or accomplished, but motherfucker, that kid is in there fighting Devin Haney. What all these other guys won't do, he's actually doing it. So I gotta give him credit for that to Ryan Garcia because he's legitimately fighting fucking Devin Haney. There's a lot of guys that say, I'll fight Devin, but when they send that contract, shit changes. So if I could do anything for Ryan and say, yo, hats off, bro. And it looks like he making a fight. He gonna make the ring walk, so we'll see. Well, yeah, Devin moves around good too. Call Bill. Yeah. He is a hard puzzle to solve, Devin Haney. He really is. Um, you got to understand that Devin Haney's one of those fighters that can make adjustments in the ring. He is. Not a lot of fighters can make adjustments and reads. And it goes to show in that Loma fight. When Loma was figuring out Devin in the later rounds, there's audio of Devin and his father talking. And Devin's telling his father he knows what I'm doing. And his dad is telling him, well, then you're making the read. And Devin made adjustments. He was making adjustments. Those are highly skilled fighters. Fighters like Loma, fighters like Devin, they are highly skilled like that. Ryan can't do that shit. Ryan can't make adjustments. He can only fight. That's it. You see, fighters that can make those kind of reads and adjustments and tweak shit within the fight, they're different kind of fighters, and it's a hard puzzle to solve. Usually, there's a good, he laggy gags on his defense and he gets caught. You can catch a fighter like that. They get a little bit too enamored with their work and a little cocky. They're standing there admiring their work a little too long than they should be. You know, Sometimes it can happen to a fighter, and a good fighter can get caught like that. I've seen it time and time again. But Devin is a very disciplined fighter. As you can see with Regis' progress, I took away from that fight that he shows he can stay to the game plan all the way. What they worked out in the gym, what they had in preparation. If the time comes, you got to recognize when you have these moments. And Devin Haney knows it. He knows it. He saw it. He later when he went back and saw that fight, he probably told himself, "Man, I should have went for it. I should have tried to knock Regis Progress out." He was just standing there on sheer guts and wits. He was out on his feet, but he had a good poker face, and he does hit hard. So, like I said, we spoke about it. Like, yeah, Devin did stay to the game plan, but yeah. No, Devin Haney is not chinny by no stretch of the imagination. Devin Haney is not chinny. I don't know why they keep saying that, right? He got cracked one time in a fight and was a staggered and wobbled. You're in a fight. You're gonna get hit. The name Terrence Crawford got wobbled. And he's undefeated. He's the greatest fighter in the world. I've seen Terrence Crawford get wobbled worse than Devin Haney. Yes, I have. In more than one fight. Okay? Even the best of the best can get staggered or wobbled. Have you ever seen Devin Haney on the floor? I'll wait. Have you ever seen Devin Haney get knocked out? I'll wait. You mean to tell me that they're gonna judge his chin on a wobble when he's never taken a standing 8 count? I'll wait. That speaks of a good chin. He was caught with that punch at the closing of the round, meaning he only had 1 minute to recuperate from that. How'd he do? Oh, he won the fight. I'll wait. But he's chinny. But he can't take a punch. Really? You're talking about the man that's never been knocked down? That guy? When you're talking about a guy that's chinny, you hit that dude with a jab, he drops. That's chinny. When you got a guy that was once considered to have an iron chin, and then all of a sudden he's in a boom and he gets knocked out, that's chinny. No boxer knows when that's gonna happen to a fighter. No one knows. Just one day, all those battles caught up to you, and your body can't take it anymore. You become chinny. That's where that phrase and expression comes from. You get dropped like this. Devin Haney's not the kind of fighter that shows me in any way that he's chinny. How the hell is he chinny if he's never been knocked down? That's not a chinny fighter. You see? So the definition of chinny is you got to get dropped. So, he got caught. He got caught, that day, he just got caught. Sergio caught that ass. So, but it doesn't, not to a man that's never been even knocked down. Nah, not at all. Devin Haney's been cracked by Loma. Loma's knocked out everybody. Okay. Loma, once he's on your ass, that is your ass. Okay. He had a weird fight with Tio where he didn't start fighting to like the 6th round. There was something wrong with him. Okay. Um, but yeah, Devin's been cracked by some big guys. But now at 140, we're really gonna see. And if you're gonna think for 1 second that any Subriel Matias fight you've ever seen is gonna look the same way against Devin Haney, that's where you're gonna be wrong. It's not gonna look nothing like that. Devin Haney possesses the skills that none of those other guys had. Everything that those guys that fought Subriel that came in on that night against Subriel, they all excelled in certain areas. Like one guy hit hard, he was a knockout artist. One guy was known for his movement and his high output, but none of them were a complete fighter. None of them. Devin Haney is the more complete fighter out of all those guys. Everything that those guys lacked in, that where they failed, their boxing failed them, that Subriel was able to break them down. Devin Haney excels in all those areas where they failed in. Yeah, so I expect it to be a way different kind of fight. I expect Subriel Matias taking in a lot of punishment, trying to chase down young Devin Haney and slow him down. Depending if he can catch up to Devin Haney is when I'll be able to determine if he can put Devin Haney in the situation where Devin Haney has to bite down on the mouthpiece and stand in front of him. If that moment ever happens in the fight, it's over for Devin. It's over. It is over. That's exactly where Subriel Matias wants you. That's checkmate. The minute Devin Haney stops running on his bike in that fight, the fight's over. Because now Subriel got him to stand with him. And he decided that he's burning too much energy. The rest of his energy, he has to close the fight. No matter if he was winning the entire fight, when that moment in the fight happens, Subriel is going to go for it. And Subriel is going to break Devin Haney. Devin Haney will not be able to take Subriel's onslaught standing in front of him. It's too much. It's too much. He was going to rattle Devin Haney's brain. And you got to remember that, like you guys said, like, okay, Devin Haney was cracked. He was, wobbled. He's been hit, in some fights and Loma. He had some pretty, good fights. But for the most part, a lot of these guys don't touch Devin Haney. He doesn't get touched a lot in that ring. Devin Haney's the hammer in all of his fights. When's the last time you saw Devin Haney with a cut eye? When's the last time you saw Devin Haney bleeding out his nose? The Loma fight, he was bleeding a little, right? But that's it. You don't see Devin Haney bubble the fuck up like this. No, no, you saw exhaustion, tiredness. He was red after the Loma fight. But after the post fight interview, when all the adrenaline came down, he was good. He was fresh as a daisy. He was right. Yeah. So Devin's not used to getting bashed like that. And if Subriel has him in front of him on those ropes, he's not going to know how to deal with that. He's not going to know how to deal with that. And at that point, you really got to pay attention to what's going on. Is he taking too much damage at this point in the fight? Is Bill going to want to see his son? And how much is he willing to give for the victory? So because Subriel is a dog and Subriel has shown that he's not afraid to take a punch. A punch is not what bothers him. Subriel, the shit that he's on, he's like, you could punch me in the face, go ahead. But it's my turn now. Can you take my punches? That's what kind of shit Subriel is on. And you can't stand in front of him too long. Not a fighter like that. Not too long. You got to pepper him, step out, try to get him something big, try to surprise him early to the body. It'll pay, dividends in the later rounds. So, that's what you would have to do with Subriel. You would have to be able to maintain that. Ponce shot his load in one round. And Subriel just, he was irritating Ponce in the first round, pop, 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 and then covering up and just letting him shoot his arsenal. After that first round, Subriel Matias took over the fight. Once Ponce stood in front of him, it was over. It was over. His last fight against that dude that was on the knockout street, the one with the look, anyway, I ain't gonna say it. So anyway, I can't pronounce his name. He fought against him, bro. That dude was a front runner. He hit Subriel Matias with some of the hardest punches that I ever seen Subriel take, bro. It was like nothing. That guy was throwing him like boom, boom. Go watch that fight, boom, boom. And Subriel was just like and walking like a fucking Terminator, bro. Yo, he hit that dude so hard right here in the jaw that when he hit him, the dude said, "Oh shit, my leg, my leg, my leg just twisted." He punched him here, and his leg got fucked up. Yo, it was great. Nah, he came in the fight with injury. I know about it. I'm just capping, and because I do that dude did it officially had some fucked up shit with his knee. He did, but you know what I mean. He took the fight, got a fight. Hey, he lost. He lost. Right? Bam. So that's where I speak of a lot. Like you're not gonna be able to get away with a lot of the stuff that he normally the breaks that Devin Haney sometimes takes in the ring, the breaks that his opponents allow him to take. You're not gonna get that with Subriel. He's not gonna let you breathe. And when you need that time to think, to reset yourself, he's going to be on you so fast. And that's the kind of pressure that Devin Haney's going to have to learn to adjust and to handle for the entire 12 rounds because that is the only way Subriel Matias knows how to fight. Listen, please smash this like button. I'm going to check y'all messages one more time before I get out of here. What's up, Jose? PR Boxing, what's up? Bam Bam, you know it, baby. Jose says Haney can't clinch, can't stay still, can't go toe to toe, can't exchange, and cannot land combos on Matias is too damaging. Haney's best chance is to run like Matias said, but can he run from Matias? Bam Bam, get your right. Boogie, get you right. What up, Boogie? Listen, I'm at 140. Jose. Okay. Listen, that's not necessarily true that Devin Haney can pepper and frustrate Subriel Matias all night. Kind of like what Sugar Ray Leonard did to Roberto Duran in the Duran fight too. When Sugar Ray Leonard had him was running all night on his bike and he was just peppering him, bah, 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 in and out, in and out, in and out. He had Duran frustrated. Duran couldn't cut the ring fast enough because Sugar was too quick. He was too quick and he hits hard. You know, he don't hit to the point where he was gonna knock Duran out, but those punches fucking hurt. And getting, I'd rather get knocked out by one sledgehammer punch than getting hit by a fucking bull beam hammer all night. That's gotta hurt. And the frustration that he had Duran like that. Now that kind of fight is what more or less is how I visual in order to beat a fighter like Subriel. Um, Thank you for subscribing, brother. You would have to do that kind of strategy and pepper him and get in and out. Devin Haney does possess those kind of skills. You can maintain that for 12 rounds. I'm not saying that Devin Haney Sugar Ray Leonard. No, I'm not. But I'm saying that if I had to break down a strategy and do I believe young Devin Haney can pull it off, he's got that kind of power that he might be able to be hitting him with a Bowlby's hammer and Subriel might have the sledgehammer. But what good is that sledgehammer if you can't land it? And that's what I would have to see. And you also got to remember with every fight, Subriel gets better too. You see what I'm saying? So, although Subriel has gotten hit more in the past, I'm pretty sure he's working on that now and he's tightening up on his defense. So, if you're going to want to beat a fighter like Subriel Matias, you might want to fight him now. Don't wait until he gets just that much better because it's going to really be that much harder for you to beat him. Once Subriel really starts to lock down and train with some of these American gyms and get world class like Ed Hearns and them, his promotional company now is really going to go to bat for him. And he's going to start traveling around and getting that kind of experience that he really needs. And like I said, if you're gonna beat him, you better fight him now, bro. You better fight him now because I'm telling you, man, Devin Haney, you give Subriel Matias a little bit more time to work on that defense, and there's not gonna be anything, and it ain't gonna be nowhere in that ring. You're gonna be able to hide Devin Haney. I'm gonna try to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. And Subriel's footwork is looking better and better every match. I forgot to mention that. He's got that little hop in his, he's getting it. Yo, it's getting crazy. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you guys. But Matias is not Duran. Yeah, Matias is not Duran, and Devin ain't Sugar. But if I had to, Duran, it was kind of one of those forward kind of fighters, hit hard kind of dudes, in your face type fighter, like a Matias. I'm just, making a small comparison. I don't think they fight alike or anything, and I get that. I get that, Um, and Devin ain't Sugar, but from the both styles of fighting, Devin is not going to want to stand in front of Matias. So what else can you do? Get on your bike. And if you're going to get on your bike, you're not going to be able to run forever and win the fight. You're going to have some offense. And what he's going to want to do is pepper him, get him frustrated, get out. And Matias is going to hunt him down. He's just going to be stalking him, and here and there landing hard shots to the bodies and the arms while Devin is running away. Because in the first round, what you're going to see him is hitting him here, here, and if he can, here. And if he gives him anything up top, I'm pretty sure he's going to take it. But the reason why he's going to hit him in his arms and his body, so that later on in the rounds, his arms get heavy, tired, they hurt, and he starts to drop his hands. Devin Haney. And that's when Matias is going to set him up downstairs and come up quick with that electrifying check hook that he has. It's so fast. It's lightning speed. Matias has that deceiving speed where that he's hitting you with these shots, right? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just fucking lets one go. And it's like, bro, did he just hit him? Bro, his speed he's hitting you with a good speed. He knows how to do that. And then when he knows he got that shot, bro, he hits some guys. You ever see him? He lifts one foot up, the guy gets hit, and that foot lifts up. That's how hard he's hitting these guys. And you know, uh, he got this deceptive speed, Matias. He's a lot faster than what these guys might think he is. They see like he's like boom, boom, boom. Nah, he's just softening you up, softening you up, softening you up. And you keep seeing him doing the same thing. And as soon as you go to pull that shot to try to hit him, he's gonna snap you. He does it all the time. He's a master at it. And it's shots like that that can really fuck up Devin Haney's night. And the longer the fight goes, the more he can slow him down. The more you go into the later rounds, the more the fight is favored to Subriel Matias. And being the fact that Subriel is the real 140-pound champion in that division, meaning he's the only real 140-pound pounder. He's been fighting all these big guys. The only claim to fame Devin Haney got is Regis Progress. You can't take Regis Progress and a fighter like that, right? I don't want to take anything away from Regis because his skills got him to be a world champion, not once, but twice, okay? So you can't really, you know what I mean? But is Regis really that elite fighter? Come on, guys, right? So you're going to take that whooping that Devin couldn't knock him out. He should have, but he didn't, right? And you're going to say that he's ready to fight Subriel Matias right now? Hell no. Hell fucking no. There's not. You're going to have to let Devin Haney fight one or two fights, just fights and feel some of these big boys' punches. Subriel already knows what these big boys punch like. This is all he knows. Devin's not ready for that kind of beating. I'm trying to tell you. He might can carry the weight, but he ain't fighting at that weight like he was fighting Loma. He didn't look like that. He didn't look like that when he, as fast as he was, as fast as Lomo was, he didn't look like that against Regis. So it goes to show you he needs to adapt to the division. So as far as, reality set, if you were to put Devin in right now, that's why they're not fighting, bro. Devin Haney's not stupid. He understands, bro. I gotta fight some big dudes first. Mix it up with them before I challenge the king of the 140. Because the king of the 140 is Subriel, hands down. What other king is there in 140? Who? Devin Haney doesn't get the crown because of his name. Oh, you did a lot of shit at 135. You fought a lot of big names at 135. Good for you. That was at 135. What have you done at 140? You can't get credit at 140 for what you did at 135. The minute you step in 140, you starting to write a new chapter. So what have you done at 140? Not too much. Tio, what you did at 140? You fought Josh Taylor. You fought Jermaine Ortiz. That's 2 fights. He's not people. You just got the belt. Subriel Matias, what you do? Oh, I've been fighting at the 140 my entire career, and I fought all the top guys. I fought the number one guy. I fought my mandatory. I defended the type. Bro, enough said. He's the king at 140. But if you let the fans and Devin Haney, because he got a big name. He made a name from 135. Yeah, he got a big name. He's a superstar. Yes, 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 yes. But not in 140. He didn't do any of that superstar shit at 140. None of it. Can't give him credit for that, bro. I ain't gonna be no fucking. Oh no, but Devin Haney fought Loma. So what? He didn't fight Loma at 140. That's it. That's it. This is a what have you done for me sport. You know? Yesterday's score should not help you win today's game. Who the fuck you fought at 130 and knocked out what? How the hell is that you getting credit at 140 for that? Fuck out of here. Subriel is the king at 140. And that's the truth. By real boxing standards, he's the king. There's no other champion that's been in the division long enough that can even compete with his credentials at 140 alone. Yeah, you might the names and what you did for nothing. Okay, fuck it, but no. He's just 35 years old. Oh, that's yo. Devin Haney whooped his ass so bad he wanted to be a UFC fighter. Yo, I think I'm gonna try mixed martial arts. Yeah. I might sell houses after this. Maybe boxing's not for me. Yo, he gave him one of those guys. He had to rethink his life over and his life plans. Yo, Devin put the Beats by Dre on his ass. But I gotta tell you, man. Yeah, I don't see anybody else, but that's the way I see it. That's the landscape I see it. I don't think Devin's gonna fight Subriel anytime soon, but I also don't think he should. I think that that's a big, big fight. It's a big money fight. If you allow that fight to materialize, we're going to get a big fight in the future, hopefully in the next calendar year. That's it. That's the longest I would like to wait for that fight, but I'm willing for the fight to get bigger. I'm willing for Devin Haney to fight somebody better than Ryan Garcia and Regis Progress at 35 years old. He hasn't really fought a real dangerous opponent at 140. Maybe if Teo fights like at 140, Teo can fight. I mean, he can fight Teo. Devin Haney can fight Teo. But he could also fight um I'm not sure if I want to see him fight Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. The Russell, he could fight. Jack Catterall, depending how he does against Josh Taylor. Um, Barboza, Hitcherson, Richard Hitcherson. He's got a fight coming up right now too. So Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz can fight Devin Haney. Their little two running around styles. That could be a good fight right there. I don't know. But oh yeah, Jermaine ain't gonna fight Devin Haney. I forgot about that. Fuck. He's training with him. Jermaine Ortiz is training with Devin Haney and Devin Haney's dad right now. They got like this little bond going on, so they're not gonna fight each other. I know that right now for a fact. That's a fact, Jack. Devin Haney can fight Rivera. He can fight Rivera. Jose Zepeda. Brandon Lee. Whatever happened to this fucking kid, bro? I don't know, man. Elvis Rodriguez. Elvis Rodriguez, the Dominican fighter. He's not ready for Devin, but that would be a good fight. You know, you beat up on Elvis Rodriguez, take away his little undefeated status there, I guess. Is he undefeated still, Elvis? I forgot. I think he is. I got to check on that. Don't hold me on that. Fuck, I got too many fighters in my head right now. Um, to be thinking about records and shit at the same time. But he could fight Elvis, and that would be a good fight for 140. He could fight either of them. He could fight the other Rivera, or he could fight Rodriguez. Those will be some good fights for Devin Haney for the near future. It'll get him acclimated to the division, beat on those guys a little bit, then come back and revisit the Subriel fight. If he can't get any of the champions to fight him, if Devin Haney can't get Tio to fight him, you know, for instance, or Isa Pitbull Cruz, any of that. And if you know, in a good world, fucking Teofimo Lopez will grow some balls, and after this fight, he'll face Subriel like he said. He said, put them in front of me, Puerto Rican fighters. They're easy to beat. Well, I want to see that. Until I see that, I would love to see that, Tio. In fact, I want to see show me how you're going to beat up on this Puerto Rican fighter. I'm going to get my popcorn. I'm going to sit back, and I want to see that. You know, or are you just flapping your gums again? Oh, I want to fight Terrence Crawford. Oh, we've heard T.O. before. We've heard him before, you know? So, I don't know, man. You know, and there's rumors of his father getting knocked out by Keyshawn Davis, and he was in the room. So, before you want to put down Spanish fighters and you watching your dad get knocked, if that story stands to be true, you know what I mean? I don't know, T.O. Shots fired. Now that's personal. Yeah, that is personal. Because you ain't just going to say that shit and act like you didn't say no shit. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of the T.O. fans turned on his ass, right? Because of saying dumb shit like that. Fucking T.O. have his fan base with Puerto Ricans. We were backing his ass until he went and said some dumb shit like that. Still, a lot of Puerto Rican fans are still backing him, you know. They still showing him a little bit of love, but he lost a lot of them with that statement because now we like, come on, homeboy. Like, really? Listen, I believe until up till like last year. Last year, I haven't counted everything for this year. So we could have more. But I think all the way up until like the bottom of last year, like the beginning of last year, Puerto Rico's history for world champions, we've had 69 world champions for Puerto Rican champions. So we've had 69 world champions total. Um, I think we should be up to like 70 something right now. Like I said, like this year I haven't tallied the ones that have won, so I haven't tallied that up. But I'm pretty sure 69 champions are going to hold up against Honduras champions. All right? And I ain't taking no shots. But if you saying that we weak, baby, why y'all mans ain't doing it? That's all. Hey, you want to take shots? Then we can play this game if you want to. We can play this game if you want to. I can get petty too. All right? Fucking we easy and shit. Man, listen. You're going to have to answer to that. You're going to have to answer to that. And in a good world, Tio should take the Subriel fight. Why? Why? It's the biggest payday he's gonna get. And he ain't gonna get it unless you fight Devin, because I retract that. Devin will probably make just as big numbers. Okay. But those are the fights. And Tio, the coward that he is, right? What he's gonna do is he's gonna go after Isa Pitbull Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants the easy fight, in a sense. Like, I wouldn't be mad at him in a boxing sense. Yeah, I would go after Isa Pitbull Cruz, but not after you said some shit like that about a man or about a fighter, and then like you're not gonna address it. You're not gonna address that. Like, really? Like, you're gonna pretend like you didn't say that, and then try to go fight someone else. That's what I mean about the cowardice. Whether he being a coward. No, Tio ain't scared of nobody. All right, yeah, cool, right. But you don't say that about somebody and then go fight someone else. Is what I'm saying. You needed to, like, your next fight, address that shit right there. But he's the type of dude to act like he never said that. He'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, you want to fight East Side? Then another fight, and never address Subriel Matias. Like if he never said it. And he's on some shit like that. He's really Hollywood. Tio fits right in with that character persona of a boxer that does a lot of talking. He fits right into that. Him and his dad. They fit right into that lamplight of like, hey, look at me, look at me. But apparently it's not been working lately because he hasn't been selling out his fights. So it's going to need somebody to dance with. And if you're going to say shit like that, I got a dancing partner for you, right up your alley, Tio. According to you, easy money, baby. Come get the easy money. Come on. Come on. Come over here. Come get some. Yeah, baby. Yeah, yeah. No, when Tio was young and he was doing the Fortnite dance, he was hot. He was hot. When he fought Loma, man, I was cheering Tio on. Come on, Tio. Yo, we was supporting his ass. He lost his fucking mind, bro. He went fucking Hollywood. You didn't have to say no shit like that to sell a fight, bro. Tio's just he says a lot of crazy shit. I guess that New York mentality, is up in his head. I don't know what the fuck, but you need to watch some of that shit. And if you're gonna be like on some shit like that, seeing that the champion himself, the best champion in the division, is Puerto Rican, and he was fighting a Puerto Rican but taking shots at another one. He knew exactly what he was saying. I mean, and then you're gonna try to back up and clean it up and say, no, 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 no. I was saying, like, current fighters, not all time or anything like that made anything better. Motherfucker, current fighters, Subriel is a current fighter. That means you said it to him too. So which way you want to put it? Subriel is a current fighter. So if you were saying that about current fighters, well, then he's currently right there. That's all I'm saying. So, but wow, man. Listen, man. Like I said, I've laid it out for you guys. There's other fighters. Yeah, there's other fighters. But if these guys want to make history, and these guys want to dare to be great, and you want to be a champion, I want you guys to recognize what it means to be a champion. Okay. For instance, Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora fought the other night, right? And Tim Tszyu came up short in that fight. After the fight, in the locker room, his countrymen. I don't know who that gentleman was, but he was telling Tim Zoo, no matter if you lost, you're still our world champion, and we will always love you as a world champion, and we're giving you the key to the city, and you will always go down as our best champion. Now, I want you to recognize, I said all of that to say this. I want you to recognize what one belt can do for you. Winning one world title is hard enough. Just one belt. Tim Zoo has only won one belt in his entire career. And look at what we're talking about when we talk about men like this and Terrence Crawford that have won four belts in two separate weight divisions. And these guys want to be talked about like with men like that. One belt. He became champion with only one. They gave him the key to the city. He is considered to be the best Australian fighter ever. All this. Just one fucking belt, bro. One. That's what a world title can do for you. And these guys are talking about like, oh, he had two belts or he won three belts. Yeah, so what? They let him fight this guy. Bro, do you realize what that is? What that means? To have three fucking belts? To do what Errol Spence Jr. did? Like, that shit ain't easy, man. One fucking belt, bro. So if these guys really want to chase legacy and become the type of champion, a unified world champion, two belts, unified, three belts, undisputed, all four belts. Those are different kind of champions. You see? So when it's all said and done, you'll really know who's really about that and who really wants this smoke. These guys all have fight schedules, if you're not noticing, right? Similar around each other. And they have nothing better to do. These fights, we need to get them. And when the smoke all clears, 2025 is going to be one of the biggest boxing years ever. Mark my words. With some of the explosions and these networks starting to see that it's good to start working with each other. The PBC really got to get a little bit more into the game and start working with these guys and really getting these champions to the unified bouts because the fans like to see all the belts draped up on the fighters. We love that shit, but that shit is not easy. That shit is not easy to do. Many men have tried to do that and come up short. For instance, Teo, Lomachenko, all those fighters try to unify all four belt and failed. George Camboza failed. It's not easy. And once you get knocked down on that horse, in order to get back up, so if someone was to tap you on the shoulder and to tell you, hey, I'll give you a shot for four belts, bro, I'll spit out everything. What you say? How much money? Fuck the money. Four belts? Did you say four belts? What do I sign? Those kind of opportunities don't come around every day. And for men to pass on those kind of, you don't want to fight me. What more can I offer you? You shouldn't even get paid to get fight for four belts. You should fight that guy for free. That kind of opportunity, oh my God. For one belt, they give Tim Zoo everything he ever wanted. He never won another belt up to present date. His family is set over there in Australia. One belt. Imagine if you wrap all four of these. That will change your life. Listen, fight fans. What's up, Mark? How you doing, baby? What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe I read that too fast. The blueprint, Matias versus Cruz fight. Don't need a referee. He don't need a referee in that fight. Just get out their way. Get out their way. And you don't need no ref. They coming right at each other. There is gonna be zero running in that fight. Subriel Matias versus Isaac Cruz. They they they're not gonna have to worry about finding each other in the ring. They gonna meet each other right in the middle of the ring. That's where the fight's going down until Subriel's pressure pushes Isa Pitbull Cruz back. Because typically that's what happens in his fights. But that's for sure. That their fighting styles are catered to each other. The matchmakers, they, they both fight the fucking same, going straight forward. You ain't going. There's somebody's going to sleep. It's just a matter of time. You ain't gonna need the judges, and you don't need that ref. Take five. As a matter of fact, take the rest of the night off. You ain't gonna need them. And we ain't going to no scorecards. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. Facts. Straight phone booth. Straight phone booth fight, Armando. They be yo, crazy fight. And Isa Pitbull Cruz surprised me with his power. Yo, was it me or was every time he was punching fucking Rolly was flying across that ring? Yo, that kind of surprised me, bro. Yo, I really thought that Rolly was gonna be the bigger puncher. I was like, come on, he's coming up in weight. Isa Pitbull Cruz didn't knock out his last guy. He went all 12 rounds or whatever rounds with him. I was like, Esau's not gonna be able to punch like that. Yo, did he surprise me, bro? Bro, I had to eat my words. I was like, yo, he's the bigger puncher. Yo, Rolly was flying all around across that room. He couldn't take his power. I was like, what the fuck? Now Rolly might be chinny. Yo, since he got knocked out, he ain't stopped falling down. Every fight after that night, he's went down once. Now that motherfucker's chinny. I every fight since that time, Rolly's been put down. Yeah. So, but Esau Pitbull Cruz definitely brought his power. It moving up in weight definitely made him stronger. He looks like he's starting to adjust to the division. He looked good. Well, we didn't really get to see him in the later rounds because Rolly couldn't fucking make it to see if his gas tank would have held up. I would have liked to see that, to see where Esau Pitbull Cruz's gas tank is, for the later half of the fight. So, but you know, he looks strong. He looks strong at least. And if he was to fight against Subriel Matias, that's all we're gonna see is two guys rock'em sock'em robots. You ever see those rock'em sock'em robots? That's Subriel and them rock'em sock'em robots in the middle of the ring. Yo, they just gonna be blasting each other until one man breaks. Basically. Till one man breaks. It's basically what we're gonna watch. It would be an exciting fight, actually. And if I was Isaac Pitbull Cruz, I would take it because he would stand to make probably double, if not triple, the amount of money he's ever made fighting fucking Subriel. Ed Hearns and Matchroom, they'll pay him his money to let their fighter unify so that Ed Hearn and Matchroom has the upper hand in the negotiation tables. Shall he go to the table with Teo and Devin? The man that has the most belts would have to be considered the A side. So whatever fighter goes after him and gets that belt first, they'll have the upper hand in the negotiation table. The only way you won't have the negotiation hand against Devin Haney, because he might just be the A side because he sells the most tickets. And he's the pay-per-view fighter. Devin Haney's the only pay-per-view fighter there. Yeah, Subriel doesn't fight on pay-per-view. And Teo, I mean, I think he fought on pay-per-view, but he ain't holding no pay-per-view cards right now. right? Well, the Jermaine Ortiz was pay per view. Well, you know what I mean? I guess it kind of was. So, because my man Jermaine made it a fight, but yeah, nah. You stand the only way Tank Day Devin Haney would probably be the A side, even if he brought two belts, but you would have to pay him good money for those two belts. On the low, he'd be the A side, but he'd still probably make the most money on some shit like that. Like when Devin Haney went to Australia to fight George Camboza. Devin Haney was the A side, but George Camboza made reportedly $10 million. Devin Haney only made 2.3 million. And Devin was the A side, but George Camboza had the most belts. So he was able to make more money. You see where that can work? Where he's still the A side, but he makes more money in situations like that. It's rare when that shit happens, you know. And I think coming into the fight for the first one, Devin might have gave George Camboza the title of the A side. He might have. He might have just agreed to everything. Because it looks like he bent over backwards for George Camboza to get a shot for those three belts. It really does. I would have to go back and check out all the agreements, but he probably agreed to it. Devin, oh yeah, you're the A side. Yep. But we clearly knew that Devin going into that fight was the A side. He had the bigger name, but he might have just to get a shot at those belts. And that's when you know if someone's serious about getting those belts. Because Devin took less money. He let George Cam and fought him in his home country. Um, you know, he gave him everything. He let him pick the gloves, the ring size, everything. Everything. He let George pick everything just to get a shot at those belts. Real fucking champion. So those are champion moves anyway for Devin Haney. I could say that. Real championship moves. Yes, real fucking championship moves. Which led you to be a real champion. So yeah, guys. Listen, Armando, I love you guys. We've been up chopping it up. This has been an amazing. Smash those likes for me, man. Come on, can we get this video up? You know, we got some subscribers up in the building. Let's show them how we do it here at Round One Sports Talk. And you know, I'm staying up to wait for these tickets to go on sale. I'm going to let y'all know how I do tomorrow. See if I can post them up there and show you guys. I'm getting me some tickets. All right. I'll be at that Subriel Matias fight in Puerto Rico. Keep your fingers crossed. I am talking with some guys behind the scenes. See if I can get in there. See if I can get some media credential passes. I'm working on that. I'm not sure if I can pull that off. I'm trying, but behind the scenes, I might know a few guys, and whatever I can get for you guys, you know I'm going to bring it back to you guys. And I promise you guys one thing for sure, that if I go out to Puerto Rico and I happen to get a fucking Subriel Matias autograph, I'm not going to keep it. I will not keep that autograph. You know why? Because I'd rather give it, put it up here than give you guys an opportunity, and we'll run like a sweepstake thing there. Yo, I'll do it old fashioned, like at the hat or something. I don't like doing those sweepstakes on the computer, right? Because I think they're cheating, those people, right? I'll legit do it like the right way, but I want to like share that with you guys. I'm not gonna keep it. Um, if I kept something, you know, I'll keep some or whatever, but I would like to share that with you guys, and perhaps we'll do something, or I'll figure something out and give it away to a couple of subscribers, however I choose to do it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I get some shit from over there, be ready, because we're gonna be on the show. We're gonna be giving it out. All right, I love you guys, fight fans, and like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been the best. You guys are the best.